But we have Brian in Ohio who says that he has proof that God exists. So, hi, Brian. You're on with Don and Matt.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Don.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for taking my call.
So your proof that God exists, it says here, is Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow. He's the proof right there.
Is he God, or is he...
How is Tim Tebow proof that God exists?
Well, yeah. He's not God, of course, but he, represents God. He's a huge cheerleader for God here.
I don't believe... I'm Brian, I apologize. I know we just had some fun with the soul, but I'm actually serious. Are you at all suggesting that Tim Tebow is evidence or proof of God?
No. What happened? No. What happened is Tebow's playoff game in 2012 when the Broncos beat the Steelers. Did you guys hear about this when all the stats lined up?
I'm pretty sure, but I don't pay attention to shit from 7 years ago. Do you have proof of God or not?
Yeah, it was a miracle that God did to make all the stats line up to 316 3 years after Tim Tebow wore 316 on his eye black during the Florida Gators national championship in 2009.
Are you being serious yet? You let me know when you're being serious, because I'm not going to address stuff.
I've chatted with some guys who are big into sports stats, and they can quote you numbers all day long.
You're dead serious that it was a miracle?
I'm dead serious.
I think it'd be a miracle if 316 didn't show up somewhere.
Did you say
you? I have an atheist friend who totally doesn't believe this is true, and he's the one who actually had me call the show because he thinks this is the stupidest thing he's heard. That's why he had you call the show. Well, I mean, it's
because no, stop. You don't understand how statistics work. As Don pointed out, it would be far more miraculous that things like this didn't happen than that they did. But let's assume for a second that everything that you're going to tell me about Tim Tebow and the stats and how it all lines up and everything else is completely true. I'll just grant you that's the case. How did you determine that it was a miracle, and how did you determine that God is responsible for that?
Well, I mean, it's 316. It's John 3:16. So
no. Stop. Stats don't come out to John 3:16. You're already interpreting something. But even if it came out that it was related to John 3:16, how did you determine it's a miracle, and how did you determine that God is responsible for that miracle?
Yeah, it's just too much of a coincidence.
That's not an argument, and that's not evidence. Saying it's just not believable that I'm not right. That's what you're saying. And so we'll move on to somebody else who might have something serious or real. Because pointing out that something seems extraordinary is easy. There are lots of things that seem extraordinary. And as Don pointed out, if we didn't see extraordinary things, that would be extraordinary in and of itself. But the fact of the matter is, you can't demonstrate that this was miraculous, especially when we're talking about statistics in a sport where virtually every number is going to come up. What you're doing is you're looking at something, you're seeing, oh, it's 316. Hey, that reminds me of John 3:16, and how it's incredibly unlikely that this would actually happen. You know what would be a miracle is if Tim Tebow was still fucking relevant 7 years later. That would be a miracle.
That's right.
But he's not.
If he's playing football in his 90s, then we'll talk.